Hey everyone, my name's Wesley and welcome to my first competitive Temtem match. I recently, like 2 days ago, finished my 8th and final Temtem for my squad. It was Kinu. You will notice I make some very critical errors during this match. One of them involves Kinu because I haven't had any time to play with it. But we still managed to pull off the W. And I hope you guys enjoy my analysis of the first match, even though at times I didn't make the best decisions. So starting off, you'll notice that I didn't even know how the ban system works. I just clicked on the screen to get the screen active, and I thought there would be a confirm ban or something along those lines, and I end up just banning Valish, which I suppose isn't the worst ban. After that I was thinking, okay, if I can ban his Gaialis, that's both of his win conditions most likely, should give me a good chance. But he goes with Ukuma, so I go with the Saku lead just to give me a weakness, as well as the Valorant, as those are my only strengths against Ukuma on my squad. He then picks his Gaialis, unfortunately, so I pick his third win condition, which is Valorant. Probably not the best pick. I could have picked something like PvP or Kinu or something along those lines, but I went with Valorant. I then picked my Valkyrie just so that I have a strength against his Gaialis, seeing as he banned my Rakan. And at this point I'm thinking he has to pick his Rakan at some point because he doesn't have a strength against my Saku unless he goes with Nidrisol and a toxic type move, but that won't be very difficult for me to deal with my Valorant and Valkyrie. So he picks his Pigapek, and I'm just hoping he picks Rakan so that I can put my Oshiera in and switch into that. My thinking is that first move he's going to switch out his Ukuma for Rakan, and I can switch straight into Oshiera as well, and hopefully he doesn't switch his Rakan out. He ends up picking his Rakan, and I instantly pick Oshiera and Kinu, as I definitely need a support, and I'd rather pick Kinu in this situation than Mix, just because I'm going to need some strong defensive buffs against his Gaialis and Nidrisol and those guys. So I start off by getting my life full sap stacks on Saku. I was going to go for an Urushiel on Ukuma, but then I remember that he's probably going to switch out to Rakan. So I switch Valorant out and put my Oshiera in, and the reason I didn't go for a Urushiel with Saku is because it no longer gets the typing boost from another toxic type Temtem on my team. As I predicted, he goes for the Rakan switch, and my Oshiera switch was perfect, which was about the last good move I made in the match. So I've got my stacks of Lifeful Sap up. I'm going to Tornado Gaialis just because my Saku has Air Specialist on it as its trait, and it's probably the strongest, most damaging type move I can inflict at the moment. I was expecting this to one-shot Rakan. I really thought it would. I've trained Oshiera in special attack. Maybe I should use Tsunami rather than Aquatic Whirlwind. I don't know if you guys prefer Tsunami. Please comment down below if you think it's a better pick. He one-shots my Oshiera with his Gaialis. And his Rakan obviously isn't trained much in attack or special attack and doesn't do much damage to my Saku. I switch into Valkyrie just so that I can try and chip down his Gaialis, who is way too tanky in my opinion. But I forget Haito Uchi puts me to sleep and nearly one-shots my Valkyrie. So we are in a terrible position right now. I managed to get a bark shield off though, so that luckily raises my defense on Valkyrie by 2 stages, which really helps out in this next move because I think he forgets that Crystal is 4 times weak to Valkyrie, and he throws in a Crystal Sparks, I think, or Crystal Bite. I think it's Sharp Stabs, sorry. And yeah, doesn't do any damage, and I managed to stay alive and take out his Raycan and his Gaialis. So managed to turn that very bad position around into a good position, and it seems like we are slightly on top of this match. But from here on, it only goes downhill. So I decide to throw a Urushiol on Ukuma. He does happen to have the Tukuma mask on Ukuma, so it's not as effective as I would have liked, but I switch out to Valorant just to get that 4 times poison on Ukuma rather than the regular 2 times. His water cannon, luckily I switched out, doesn't do much damage, and he toxic inks my Saku, which was a good move on his part. I decide to not go with another Urushiol as he's already poisoned and didn't actually do much damage, so I throw the Bark Shield up on my team and go for the Hyperkinetic Strike. I probably should have gone for Windblade there just so that I could have sped up my Valorant first. But he manages to take out my Saku, who was in from the start, so what a great tank. If you guys haven't got a Saku on your team, you should really try it out. It's really fun to play with. Just stays alive for most of the match. I then Windblade his Nidrasil, and he manages to switch out to his Pigapek, which I had completely forgotten about. So I end up doing next to nothing to his Pigapek, and he's got a Pigapek and an Ukuma still alive on the field. So once again, it seems like the tables have turned. Unless my Valorant can start speeding up and getting his Hyperkinetic Strike off again. This Beta Burst does a lot more damage than I thought it would. So now I'm thinking, okay, if I can just get a Noxious Bomb off from Valorant, it should wipe out his Sushi. So that's the play I make, and it works out, even with his Tukuma mask. Luckily my Valorant is trained in special attack, so I think it did a bit more damage than I was expecting. But his Bamboozle fails, which is a bit weird. It should auto switch to the teammate if his ally dies, but oh well. So we get the turbo choreography off, and we are now the fastest team in the world. Stonewall Valorant with Makinu, and Valorant unfortunately has to rest. But he switches back into Nidrasil, and he's on to his final 2 Temtem. I'm feeling quite confident at this point. We've still got a Valkyrie. It doesn't have much health, but it should be able to tank 1 or 2 hits, even though it's next to nothing on its health because of its defensive buffs that it's received during the match. But seeing as I just put Kinu in my team, I was under the impression, and it is my bad for not reading the move, that Sacrifice inflicted the Doom status on a Temtem. So I end up killing my Kinu and buffing his Pigapek. And you'll see I mouse off screen just to type into Discord that my bad, I did not know how that worked. And he ends up toxic inking my Valorant, which does nothing, and I'm forced to switch out to my Valkyrie. I figure, okay, I'm just going to Extinction because I've got the Talisman on Valkyrie, and I hope he can just survive right up until the end and take out all his Temtem. I Windblade Nidrasil. Luckily he's not bamboozled, and managed to take him out. And at this point I'm thinking, oh no, if he has Sharp Rain or something on his Pigapek, I'm in serious danger. But apparently he doesn't have any attacking type moves and some roasted beef forfeits. So I end up winning my first PvP match. So if you guys enjoyed my analysis of that match, I'd really appreciate if you could leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Goodbye.